Basic Math, Chapter 10, Section 15, Rounding Decimals. A number line can help you round decimals. Round the decimal 3 and 482 thousandths to the nearest hundredth. So if we had a number line, 3 and 482 thousandths would be right here on the number line. In between 3 and 48 hundredths and 3 and 49 hundredths. 3 and 482 thousandths is closer to 3 and 48 hundredths than it is to 3 and 49 hundredths. And we can see how close it is on the number line right here. So you can follow steps to round decimals. So let's round the decimal 3 and 482 thousandths to the nearest hundredth following these steps. Step 1, underline the rounding place. We're rounding to the hundredth, so underline the digit that is in the hundredth place. Remember, we've got tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Then you look at the digit to the right. In this case, it's a 2. Step 2, compare that digit to 5. 2 is smaller than 5 or less than 5. So step 3, round is just like you would a whole number. If it's 5 or more, up the score, otherwise leave it alone. So for this case, we are not going to up the score because 2 is not 5 or more, so it stays the same. Leave it alone. Step 4, drop all the digits off to the right of that rounding place. So we've rounded, and that means that digit that was in the thousands place we don't need anymore because that's the point of rounding. We rounded to the hundredth, so the hundredth place is the last digit shown. In this case, 3 and 482 thousandths rounds to the nearest hundredth is 3 and 48 hundredths. Sometimes you have to change the numbers in 2 places. So if we round 2 and 963 thousandth to the nearest 10th place, we follow our 4 steps again by looking at the rounding place. We're rounding to the tenths, so we underline the tenths. Look at the digit to the right. In this case, it's a 6. Compare that to 5 for step 2. 6 is larger than 5, so we will up the score for 9. But we can't fit 10 in the tenths place. We will have to round just like we do with whole numbers, and when you add 1 to 9, we get 10. So we are going to regroup that, so the 2.9 plus 0.1 more will up the score to 3. Then drop all the digits off to the rounding place, so 2 and 963 thousandths become 3. So 2.9, up the score by 0.1. So 1 plus 9, 0, regroup, 3, bring the decimal down. So that's what they did here. Practice A. So we are just writing the name of the underlined place value, which means for number 1, the 9 is in the hundredths place. 3 is in the tenths place. The 1 is in the hundredth. place. This 9 is in the thousandths place. This 9 is in the hundredths place. This 5 is in the hundredths place. And the 6 is in the tenths place. And the 2 again is in the hundredths place. Sorry for the messy handwriting, not so easy to write on the screen, but hopefully we can see that clear enough. And practice B, round each decimal to the nearest hundredth place. Also the cent, same thing, which is the hundredth place. We can highlight those. So we are rounding to the hundredth place. So knowing what my directions are, I could even go through them all and just underline all those hundredth place. Okay, so now we've got all of those underlined, and for the ease of seeing what number we look at next, I'll highlight the place to the right of the hundredth place. And we went through them all pretty quickly. We can go through all of these pretty quickly with a quick highlight. And so when we compare, we're looking at that highlighted number in blue. One place to the right of the place value, we are rounding to. If it's 5 or more, up the score. 5 or more, up the score. So, for number 9, 375 thousandths. 5 is 5, so up the score. So one more for 7. Remember, you're only upping the score by 1. So now it is 0.38, or 38 hundredths. 9 up the score makes us regroup. So it becomes 150. Right? If you add a penny to 49 cents, it becomes 50 cents. 11, 2 is not 5 or more, so we're not going to up the score. It just stays the same. 2.87. And now we've got 2306. Because 9 is 5 or more, so we up the score, so 5 becomes 6. And we can keep going through them like that. So 0.913 or 913 thousandths. 3 is not 5 or more, it is less than 5, so it stays the same. The 1 is what we're rounding to, so that's the number that stays the same. The blue number and anything to the right of it just drops away, because that's what we're doing with rounding. All right, last one, 67. And now 5 is 5 or more, so we up the score. 1 more than 0 is 1. So 6, I forgot, I wrote the wrong number there. It's 7. Talking and writing at the same time. 67 and 31 hundredths. All right, since I made a mistake, I'll do one more. 15 is money. So we have here a 5, so we're going to up the score. And so this is going to regroup, this is going to regroup all the way back to there. So if we add a penny to 99 cents, it's going to make that become another dollar. So $1.05 becomes $1.06. Yep. $105.99 rounded to the nearest penny. If we had 5 as the indicating number to round by, then we're going up by a penny. One more penny from 99 cents makes one more dollar. We show the $105 now as $106. All right, let's look at practice C. What does that want us to do? Round each decimal to the nearest tenth. So we're doing the same thing we did before, except instead of rounding to the nearest hundredth, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. So we could go through all of these by following the direction and underline all those tenths. The tenth is the place value to the right of the decimal. The number that tells us to either up the score or stay the same is the hundredth place value. That's one place to the right of the tenth. So those are all those indicating numbers. Now we can see what we got. So the 9 tells us to up the score, so it becomes 3.3. The 5 for 22 tells us to up the score, so it becomes 54 and 4/10. The 4 tells us to stay the same for 23, so 32.4. The 2 tells us to stay the same, so 99 and 3/10. The 5 tells us to up the score, so it becomes 2/10 instead of 1/10. The 4 says we stay the same, so 26 and 5/10. The 5 says up the score, but this 9 is going to have to regroup, so we're going to become 9, the whole number 9. No decimal place, it's just a 0, but 9.0 is the same as 9. 28 has 9, and we're going to up the score. 1 more to 0 is going to be 1, so we have 5.1. So there's some more you can practice if you'd like, and we can do our everyday problem solving. Janny? I think that's Janny. Janny has $25. Does she have enough money to buy the items on the receipt to the right? Round up the prices to the nearest dollar, then find the total. Remember, she's got $25. So if we round these to the nearest dollar, it'll help us do our math. The nearest dollar is the place value to the left of the decimal. And we're looking at the tenths to see what the number will become. 458 would become $5. 802 would be $8. And 684 would be $7. Now we can find the total by adding that up, and that's going to be $20. So does she have enough money? Yes, she does. Why is it better to round prices up when you want to see if you have enough money? Why do we round up? I think it's better to know that what the cost would be on the more side than the less side. Definitely don't want to order a cheeseburger, a foot-long sub, and a salad, and then go to pay for it and find out you don't have enough money. Better that you have more money than less money. There's some more practice for you for Chapter 10, Section 15 in your workbook. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.